Hi everyone, this is the revision for step 6 for group 1. That is myself, Brianna, Amanda, Shamila, and Sabrina. So just to remind you guys, what we're doing is looking at dysarthric patients diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and we're looking at the difference between LSVT treatment versus no LSVT treatment. We have 3 outcome data that we're looking at: sound pressure level, speech intelligibility, and voice handicap index, which the 3 of them all go into them separately. And just so you know, we have 2 separate groups. We have a wait time group and an immediate treatment group. So the wait time group is getting 30 days before treatment to prepare themselves, and really the point of having the wait period is to show that those who are waiting do not change due to maturation or anything else that's happening outside of the environment that is not therapy, so any outside forces that we're trying to not account for that. And then the immediate treatment group is getting the LSVT right off the bat, no preparation, no wait time. And it's just to show that it is the treatment that can actually be held accountable for those changes. So first we're going to look at the sound pressure level. As you guys can see, during both baselines there's no change, and during intervention is where you see a really big leap in terms of sound pressure level. So as you can see, the wait time group starts at about 40 dB SPL, which, to give you guys an idea, sounds like a quiet library. And the immediate treatment group is around the same, maybe a little bit more, closer to 50 dB SPL, which is about the sound of an average home. And just so you guys know, towards the end, as you can see, at the end of baseline 2, they are both more closer to 60 dB SPL, which is what we're looking for because that is the level of conversational speech. So as you guys can see, the intervention is the 30-day intensive treatment, LSVT treatment, in the middle, and that is when you see that huge leap, where you see the changes. So you can account it for the treatment that's given. Okay, next we have speech intelligibility test. So we have 2 ways of showing it here. We have a table, and then we also have a graph. Speech intelligibility was measured through listeners, and we have 5 separate levels of intelligibility here for each group. And each group had 5 subjects. So the wait time group here, you have here, it is separated into 0 to 20% intelligibility, where before intervention you have 2 subjects, 20 to 40% intelligibility, where before intervention you also have 2 subjects, and 40 to 60% intelligibility, where you have 1 subject. So you can see here from the table that nobody has more than 60% intelligibility presented in their speech. And you also see that after intervention that changes. So after treatment, there are 0 subjects in 0 to 20% intelligibility range, as well as the 20 to 40% intelligibility range. And there are now 3 subjects in the 40 to 60% intelligibility range and 2 subjects in the 60 to 80% intelligibility range for the wait time group. Here's where you can really see that individually. And then here we have, for the immediate treatment group, before intervention, there are 2 subjects in the 0 to 20% intelligibility range and 3 subjects in the 20 to 40% intelligibility range. So nobody is going above 40% intelligibility for their speech in this specific group. And after intervention, there are no subjects in the 0 to 20% intelligibility range. There is 1 subject in the 20 to 40% intelligibility range, 2 subjects in the 40 to 60% intelligibility range, 1 subject in the 60 to 80% intelligibility range, and one subject in the 80 to 100% intelligibility range. So we have this presented to you here through a graph. So you can see the differences clearly. Pre-treatment is blue, post-treatment is red. And you can see that after LSVT, this is the wait time group, that there are more subjects being closer to 100% intelligibility, which is of course what we're looking for. That is ideal. But you can see the changes. The same goes for the immediate LSVT group, where again blue is pre-treatment and red is post-treatment. And here you can actually see that there are two subjects who went more than 60% intelligibility in that range, which is definitely an improvement from pre-treatment. So next we have the Voice Handicaps Index, which is a questionnaire. It's comprised of a series of questions targeting the patient's perception of his or her own voice. It's a useful tool to help gain insight into the emotional, physical, and functional components of the voice problem, as well as measure therapeutic outcomes. So that's what those three levels are for. And here I just wanted to show you guys what is considered mild, what is considered moderate, and what is considered severe for each level. So as you can see, more than 10 is mild for functional, more than 12 is moderate, more than 18 is severe. For physical, more than 15 is mild, more than 18 is moderate, and more than 22 is severe. And then for emotional, more than 8 is mild, more than 13 is moderate, and more than 20 is severe. They also have the total scores here, but we did not look at that for our subjects in this specific design. So the questionnaire is comprised of statements that many people have used to describe their voices and the effects of their voices on their lives. Some examples are, my family has difficulty hearing me when I call them throughout the house. My voice problem causes me to lose income. Or I speak with friends, neighbors, or relatives less often because of my voice. And these questions ranged the answers from 0 to 4, 0 being never, 1 being almost never, 2 being sometimes, 3 being almost always, and 4 being always. And the score is the sum of the numerals in the multi-choice responses, just so you know where these numbers come from. Okay, so here you can see for pre-treatment, we have Table 1A. The scores above obtained prior to the start of intervention demonstrates the results of the Voice Handicap Index from those participants receiving immediate treatment of LSVT. So here you can see we separated them per subject, and we have the functional score for subject 1 being 15, physical score of 18, emotional score of 17, and that is for a total of 50, which is going to be for subject 1 moderate to severe. For subject 2, we have 17 as a functional score, 20 as a physical, and 16 as an emotional, for a total of 53, which is moderate to severe. Subject 3, we have 14 for functional, 18 for physical, and 16 for emotional, leaving a total of 48, which is moderate. Subject 4, we have functional score of 15, physical score of 21, and emotional of 15 for, again, a moderate severity level. Subject 5, we have functional of 16, physical 17, and emotional of 11 for a score of 44, which is actually just going to stay mild for that. And then at the bottom you can see just the average of what everybody averages together. That's more looking at them as a group. In Table 1B, you can see the scores above obtained prior to the start of intervention demonstrates the results of the Voice Handicap Index from those participants who have been withheld treatment of LSVT for 1 month. So this is going to be for the wait time group. Okay, and the subject 6 is 16 functional score, 20 as a physical score, and 17 as emotional score for a total of 53, which is moderate to severe. Subject 7 has functional score of 19, physical score of 21, and emotional score of 17 for a total of 57, again moderate to severe. Subject 8, we have a functional score of 15, physical score of 17, emotional score of 19 for a total of 51, which is moderate to severe. Subject 9, we have functional score of 16, physical score of 17, emotional score of 16 for a total of 49, which is moderate to severe. And then lastly, subject 10, functional score of 15, physical score of 19, and emotional score of 16, leaving for a total of 50, which is again moderate to severe. So I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what is moderate, what is severe, what is mild. Again, you can see at the bottom the averages for each level, functional, physical, and emotional. They're all within the moderate to severe range, I would say. So since I'm running low on time, let's get into post-treatment, and I'll just go to the total so you guys can see the difference. So this is Table 2A. The scores above obtained after the completion of intervention demonstrates the results of the Voice Handicap Index from those participants receiving immediate treatment of LSVT. So for Subject 1, they have a total of 39. 39 being mild to moderate. Subject 2 has a total of 46, which is still moderate to severe. And then we have Subject 3, which is 38 for their total, which is mild to moderate. Subject 4 with a total of 41, which is mild to moderate. And Subject 5 with a total of 35, which is again mild to moderate. So mostly before, for this group, they had moderate to severe. So you can clearly see the differences after treatment. Lastly, Table 2B. The scores above obtained after the completion of intervention demonstrates the results of the Voice Handicap Index from those participants who have been withheld treatment of LSVT for 1 month. So here you can see the wait time group results for the Voice Handicap Index post-treatment. So you have Subject 6 has a total of 47, which is moderate to severe. You have Subject 7, 48 total, which is again moderate to severe. And then Subject 8, 9, and 10 all have mild to moderate severity levels, 41, 39, and 39. So you can see that post-treatment, there have been clear differences after receiving LSVT and those Parkinson's disease patients. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you, guys.